Yeah, this is done and I should be live on Twitter as well.
I think even Danish has done some weird stuff, man. He's just coming on to
Okay.
he put some 2 3 sharings here. I got yeah
Yeah, he was with Ashwin the other day. He comes on that as
yeah
well.
we're live.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to do a quick sound check to make sure that people are hearing us actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. We're live.
Yeah. So you enjoy that game, or are
I
you
did. I
as
did.
baffled as me? Yeah, I did enjoy, but I'm totally zapped by it, which is what we want after an IPL game, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So couple of reasons. I mean, I like the way KKR,
Mm,
tackled this.
mm,
I tweeted it out that I like that they sent Narayan in the middle. That is one of
mm,
the things that I feel not enough teams try. So given KKR,
mm.
their strategy seems to
Yeah.
revolve around dazzling the opposition. So they
Mm,
dazzled the opposition. They might have thought, okay, आज नारायण नहीं आ रहा है, but आ रहा है.
mm, mm.
So डॉन को जब आना होता है डॉन तब आता है बेसिकली. तो
Man.
and the other thing is Rahul Tripathi was in good form and I was happy to see
Yeah.
him open. It
Yeah.
should have happened a while back because the thing is Narayan has been found out against good pace and against a new ball. And Narayan has that clean hitting ability against bowlers who are not express or when the ball is slightly older. So I always felt if you want to use him as a pinch hitter, it's different in Caribbean Premier League because there the pitches are very slow. So he's still effective
Yeah.
there. And at his best, he did perform in Big Bash as well. But yeah, if he's not coming off, you might as well because it's just an experiment, right? You want Narayan to play 6 or 7 balls, so he can play it anywhere. It's not as if he's depending on the fielding restrictions. So that was good. And yeah, overall, I liked how he held back Narayan against Dhoni as well to use him against Dhoni. He knew Dhoni is going to probably come at 4 or 5, so he held all of Narayan's over. And Dhoni was really tied up against Narayan. He's yet to hit a boundary against Narayan in all of IPLs, and he did not hit one today as well.
Yeah.
So it
So,
was good
some
tactical captaincy from DK. Some would call it fluke that it just came off. CSK was so bad, but I
mhm.
think there was some thought behind that madness that we saw in the second half of CSK's inning.
Yeah. So they thought it through. They weren't moving away from it. What I did think was that both their scores were very similar after 10 overs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if you looked at KKR after 10 overs, they looked straight on for 180, 190. So CSK also went on a very similar trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, both teams scoring freely, looking as if something happened from over 11 to 20 in both innings,
Mm-hmm.
uh, where wickets, okay, they fell, but scoring rate was pretty much stifled. You,
Yeah,
you, you
yeah.
just saw that nothing was moving. So it was one thing we saw it happen with KKR because their batting order was just seemed as chaotic as it always has been. And also, you're not getting anyone really coming through. Okay, Rahul Tripathi, he pretty much held that innings. I think after a few wickets fell, he seemed to get some momentum. कि जब भी wicket गिरती थी, उसको लगता है अच्छा मैं कुछ करूंगा. I can't get out now,
Yeah, yeah.
which is strange because there was a point where you could tell that he was tiring or wasn't getting any power in his shots. And when they lost a few wickets, suddenly he was finding the boundary. So it was a game where at no point did you really know what was happening or what was going to happen.
Yeah.
By the end, that KKR finished with a score that really to me looked as if it was going to start diminishing. They were happy to get off the park. यार तो पता नहीं क्या हो जाता है इनका.
Yeah.
Coming to CSK after that, I mean, you go straight to over number 10, and after that, that game is something which I still don't understand what happened really. I mean, you can say that, Sunil Narayan was kept back, he bowled those four overs, but it was a classic CSK play where they said, we're going to push it, push it, push it, and just somehow, get out in the last 2-3
Yeah,
overs.
yeah,
I think what is baffling everyone, and it seems confusing to me also, is what did Kedar Jadhav do there? Because I mean, we've seen the guy. The guy's got great angles, great
yeah,
hitting ability, and he just totally got suckered in here. Up to itne dot balls, it's at times it's inexplicable, right? When
yeah.
because it had got too tight to really now whether it is Dhoni when Dhoni gets out, which sends shockwaves in CSK, right? Which is why often I guess he just bats it through, and I guess he thought he could take Chakravarti on, and
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
very
credit to
uncharacteristic.
Chakravarti also. I think he also held his own after getting hit for a boundary. I think he held his own. He
बड़ा
gave
गंदा
it some
बॉल था
flight.
यार वो बहुत
जो
गंदा
जो
बॉल
बाउंड्री
था.
के लिए गया वो गंदा
I
था.
mean, it was like it was almost as if वो
Yeah.
घबरा गया कि यार मैं क्या करूं, and
Yeah.
he said मैं medium pace करता हूं धोनी को outside. It was I really didn't know what, it was a kind of ball which looked as if ki scars had already emerged on Chakravarti ki यार मैं आका को कैसे bowling करूं, it almost had that.
No, so on Kedar, right? I mean, I almost felt a little bad for him because
Yeah, exactly.
see, he hasn't done any batting, any real batting,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
For this IPL, he hasn't really had any chances. He doesn't have a fixed batting number today. He came it at what number 6, 7,
Yeah,
and Dhoni or a Watson can come out and say, okay, we were rusty in the off season, we didn't get any batting, and they get all these games to get their eye in. They have played a lot of balls. Someone like Watson, right? What does the Kedar Jadhav get basically?
Yeah.
He doesn't get anything, and that has been happening throughout his career, right? He would get an odd. I mean, not throughout. There was a time when he had a fixed spot in the team, but over the last 2 years, even in the Indian team, it has been the same story. He would get an odd game. He doesn't know what his role is. Here also, he doesn't know what his role is, and yeah, he hasn't had any game time basically. So the same reason we used for Dhoni in the first game, you can use it to justify what Kedar did here as well. I mean. But probably it's not, now it's too late. I mean, if you think Kedar is an important guy for you, you could have batted him at 4 in a couple of games, basically.
Sure. Yeah,
So-
because there's no question about his ability, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
about the way the guy can find angles, the way he can clear the ropes.
Yeah.
We've seen that enough. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a Team India player. एक तो bowling भी नहीं करता. Okay, that's another thing.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
get into that, but you see,
that's strange,
but
yeah.
you see that suddenly. I mean, वो क्या Jadeja भी नहीं bowling उसने भी नहीं की, but
yeah.
that shows a game that within a game you suddenly can take away things and move your pieces around and things could happen. Finally, the fact that Kedar just came in and he couldn't get it off the square.
Yeah.
So there is one thing, but there was no timing. There was dum nahi aa raha tha. It just wasn't moving. In that case, I guess the question is why would Kedar not take a single, which is what he didn't do, right? I mean, it was like वो धोनी का भूत उसमें घुस गया था, कि अब मैं नहीं single. It's like it's on me. And I'm not saying that okay, Jadeja strikes them always from the word go, but when the game is lost, Bravo knew after 3 balls the game was lost. I think a guy who's bowling those last 3 balls, he suddenly sees a dip in whatever his intensity is, which is why we see कि ये छक्के चौके लग जाते हैं when a game is lost. It's like बंदा सुस्त हो जाता है कि ठीक है यार, I've saved the game, and then you see there's that real घंटा full toss outside off which will go through the covers for 4, and Jaddu looks like अरे यार इसको डालते हैं number 4 पे, which could happen and all that, but the game was, when was the game lost? Was the game lost when Dhoni got bowled?
Yeah.
Was it lost when Sam Curran got out? I mean, you just wonder.
Yeah, so I mean, the way I read it, right? So Kedar came in, and I was just looking at when did Kedar come in. Kedar came in on the 4th delivery of the 17th over. He did not have much time, right? And you cannot expect a guy who hasn't done any batting, and that's what that's what Dhoni does. The way he plays, he played 3 or 4 dot balls to start with. There was no boundary from over number 11 to 15. If you play like that in the middle overs, you either finish it or you leave the rest of the batting order no chance basically.
Yeah.
Right. So I have my sympathies with Kedar actually.
So finally,
they shouldn't have reached a stage where the required run rate was 15 and
13,
over when
14, yeah, it
Kedar
went
came
on,
in.
yeah. So it was 39 of
Yeah.
3,
Yeah.
which happened out of nowhere, and I think that was after Dhoni got. So Dhoni was 11 of 12 finally, or 12 of 11 or something like that, and that happened because of that 4.
Yeah.
It was that, and before that he was also, I think, clocking 4-5 dots. So they
So
suddenly
just
get
to add a
into-
number, 10 overs they were 90, and last 10 overs they
Yeah.
needed 68. So you have no right to be in a situation where you need 15 and over.
78.
Yeah, 78. Sorry, no. Yeah, 78,
90,
78. Yeah, 78. Yeah, but still,
But
yeah, that's regulation.
It frankly looked like 58.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, I mean, you see that kind of thing. You're saying, "Yaar, ye to na," it seemed like a very boring game. The worst part was that. Phir Watson out hua, phir ye hua, phir, it was like ye bhi ho gaya, wo bhi ho gaya. It didn't stop, yeah, but it was a silly game. I mean,
Yeah.
and seeing what CSK did previously, where they won by 10 wickets. So you're seeing a team which comes in, bashes you, but the moment Watson and Faf get out,
Yeah.
yaar kya, itne dheele? I mean,
Yeah.
come on, yaar.
But
There's
that
so
was
much batting.
Yeah, the same story was repeated throughout the last 2 seasons as well. And I read this, somebody had tweeted this out, and I retweeted it a couple of days back. Dhoni said at 2019 final that we did not play a good game throughout this season. And we reached the final, but we have to go back to the drawing board and work on several things.
Yeah.
But this is the same team. So 2018 team had some chinks. They were, because Watson and Raidu were in such good form, so they were not exposed so much. 2019 they were exposed a bit more, and Dhoni said we need to cover for them. But then even in the auction and even in the way they are approaching this season, they haven't covered for it at all. So they are suffering. I mean, this Watson Duplessis dilemma they have been in for a while actually, and they have no form basically, and that's why I felt if KKR can get a wicket, I had this weird feeling around 10-11 over only that since they have no real form coming in, and since Dhoni struggles against Narayan, I had this thing in my head that okay, this game can still turn.
Yeah, it did then. Yeah, it sure did, but. Yeah, it still remains a really weird game. I mean, you can't take that away because I guess what you see on TV is lack of any kind of effort. It comes across so badly, when a guy can't get a ball across a square. It's not about, I guess no one's looking that Jadhav has not had any game time or any I guess batting position which got him in early and allowed him to play his way in.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I mean just one point. So I'm not saying that's a fair excuse for Jadhav to say that I did not get any game time, because you do not get any game time. This is how cricket is played now, and this is the same for every team. I'm just saying a Dhoni or a Watson get a different treatment, and they can say that we did not get game time, but Jadhav cannot say. So that's just different.
Also because they had Bravo in, and I guess one of the matchups really was that Bravo would have played both Narayan and Russell a lot more.
Yeah.
And to hold him back, I mean, this is stuff which seems pretty obvious and out there.
Yeah.
So I guess.
But Bravo hasn't shown any real batting form for a while actually. So I think there must be some reason they were holding Bravo back. I don't think they trust his batting so much.
Yeah, not anymore possibly.
Another thing that I feel, and KKR does it a few times, and it always catches my attention. They hold back Russell for the 18th over. They do not ball him at all, and it often it proves to be a very effective strategy, and I think more teams can try that again. If you have a gun death bowler who just and Russell specializes in death bowling. He only bowls bouncer, he only bowls Yorkers. He doesn't bowl length at all. He doesn't have that bull. So he doesn't even attempt to get people nicked out through a regulation delivery, right? And then if you haven't faced him, the whole team haven't faced him, they don't have any idea of how it is coming from Russell. In the 18th over, it's probably difficult to figure him out then.
Yeah. I guess also the smarts there are about not bowling a guy for 4 overs because that drains him a bit also by the time he comes to the 18th and 20th.
Yeah,
it's very different with Narayan, who's a spinner. With Russell, if he does bowl those 4 overs, you do see that it does get derailed with him because he does give a lot of hit me balls also. He he tends to go for, I think, the slower ball at times where you can tell his intensity comes down, the full toss or something like that. Whereas here with those 2 overs again, the sharpness and the intensity is very concentrated.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it does it's
Yeah.
it's a really tight call, but yeah, when it comes off, it
Yeah.
seems amazing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because you're
Yeah, but and he puts a lot into his overs, I feel. I mean, so
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
he bowls, because bowling bouncers is effort, and if you are
Sure.
bowling 3 or 4 bouncers in an over, it is a lot of
Yeah,
effort. He was holding
yeah.
his shoulders, I saw.
Yeah, exactly.
And bowling
Yeah.
Yorkers is also effort. If you have
Yeah.
played any level of cricket, bowling
Yeah,
Yorkers is
exactly.
hard on your shoulders actually.
मैं
Right?
एक Yorker करके after that I can't bowl, man. I think for a long time, whenever I try that one
Yeah,
Yorker,
yeah.
and you feel कि हो गया बस.
Yeah,
You know,
it's an effort ball.
yeah, by the end of it, to get it across that, and the physicality of the game is, I think, has been telling on Russell, because
Yeah.
with his injuries and stuff like that. So a lot of it is, how can we get this guy to be there for the full season?
Yeah, yeah.
And 4 overs may be a bridge too far for them to really go with Russell. So it's pretty smart there.
Yeah, I'll read a couple of comments. Somebody said Jay Paji ki Jay, that's his name. But
Okay.
DK and Kedar Jadhav both were in the World Cup squad, remember? So yeah, they have been through awful batting form. So yeah, probably we had better candidates. Especially looking at the form of youngsters in the IPL, maybe we could have. I mean, I always like younger people playing cricket. I don't even care if they win
Yeah.
or lose. I just
Yeah,
like
sure.
new people coming in, doing something different. So if
Totally.
a Rahul Tripathi makes runs in one game, I want someone else to make. I mean, I want Yashasvi Jaiswal to make runs in
Yeah,
another
exactly.
game. I
Yeah.
have. It's not like I'm Team Shubman Gill. A lot of people are Team Shubman
Yeah.
Gill or Team Prithvi Shaw.
Yeah.
I just like to see, because everybody, cricket is such a game, right? With cricket, and to some extent I say this about tennis also. If
Yeah.
you watch a game of badminton, maybe some badminton fans are going to hate me for that, or a few other games, but maybe I don't understand the nuances. But you get a lot of sameness about the way people approach the game, right? But with tennis, you have every player doing a different serve, right? In cricket, you almost have every batsman playing the cover drive in a different way. So the more number of batsmen come along and score for you, I enjoy that. Manoj is saying Kedar got a chance to play as long as he wanted in the SRH match. He had zero intent today, when Russell is gonna bowl at the death. Yep, fair point. And of course, in the end, there is a comment saying it's all fixed.
Oh, why would someone say that? I don't believe that. Yeah, unbelievable. People still think that, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. So
and that too in Dubai, man. Who would think कि Dubai में match fixing होगा? Dubai, Abu Dhabi में.
it's just
Unlikely.
yeah, it's just cricket, no? Yeah. Let's do a wrap, man. At that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
Any
can't go beyond that. I
No,
mean, this is going to keep me awake all night. कि किसी ने said it's all fixed.
yeah. Any tributes to Tewatia? We haven't done a.
We haven't done in a long time. He hit a boundary yesterday. Which was it's a good sign. He's really moving well, is what I see. Even when he's there for a few deliveries, he bowled only 2 overs, but you can tell. I think what has got to me is that Graham Swan has also adopted Tewatia. Now I'm not saying he did it. And that it's. But he seemed very passionate about it.
Yeah, but Graham Swan supports Rajasthan Royals.
Oh, does yeah.
So a lot of English players support Rajasthan Royals because I think the ownership of Rajasthan Royals is also there are English owners.
Yes, it's a lot of foreign ownership.
They do a lot of promotions. You saw during the World Cup also they were doing promotions for Rajasthan Royals. So
yeah.
And they have some alliance with the Lancashire Cricket also. I'm not sure, but they may.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Anyhow, we can close this unless somebody wants us to stay. I'll give them 5 seconds to post a chat कि कहीं मत जाए छोड़ के. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. कोई हमें नहीं प्यार करता.
Okay.
चलो.
Right.
See you then.
See you. Bye. Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.